Imagine, if you will, you and your spouse are shopping for a new home. You check out the house and you absolutely love it. The room layout is great. The space is fantastic. You can't beat the location. There's a 2-car garage, a pool right down the street. Everything that you can imagine, you have at your disposal. Your spouse looks at you and tells you, I want it. I'm attached. Let's buy it. You check the rate sheet that you have and you find out that you can't actually make this purchase. You check out your monthly budget and now you realize it simply cannot work. But you were pre-approved for this amount. The mortgage broker you've been working with said you can make it work. What happened? Why can't this be the case? This may be an extreme example and it may not happen all the time when it comes to buying a house. However, it can happen. And what happened? You got emotionally attached. The same thing can happen when searching and trying to go to college. You've made the one mistake that you cannot make when you're searching for the right college. What's going on, everybody? I'm Danny Sinowitz, the college dude. As we've talked about before, there are typically 4 types of fit that you must check off the list when you're planning to go to college. The first is going to be your academic fit. That's usually done with research to make sure that the program that your child is looking to enroll in is one that the school is either known for or at a bare minimum offers. The second fit is going to be social fit. As you may be aware, there are colleges that come in all different shapes and sizes. Some of them are larger schools and have more of a true college feel. Some of them are much smaller and may feel almost like 13th grade. However, what you must make sure of is when you're searching for the right college, the social fit can become very important, as each of us have different tendencies and want to make sure that we fit in correctly. That's also going to be important when it comes to picking the right type of school socially for your child. The third one, and often overlooked one, is the geographic fit. Sometimes students want to stay close to home. Sometimes they need to go to another state. It's going to depend on student to student, but ultimately the geographic fit will be determined based on how close you may or may not be to your student. The student may also find that he or she doesn't want to live in an inner city. They may find that an area might be too rural. You want to make sure that in picking the school, that the type of geography and the demographics involved are exactly what you're looking for. The one that is often talked about, though, is the financial fit. When a child is looking to go to school, the financial fit can be so important to make sure that it is the right type of school for him or her. The important part of doing this is looking on the front end rather than on the back end. Rather than touring a school and finding out that you cannot go to that school due to the finances, why not do the work up front? Now you may be wondering, well, how exactly can I do the work up front? The financial aid package isn't offered until spring of my child's senior year. And while that may be true, there's plenty that you can do beforehand. There are 4 things that I recommend that you do to make sure that you avoid this massive mistake. The first thing that you should look to do is create your college budget. We talked about this in a prior video, but it usually will come down to 5 sources to make sure that you have the proper budget set for you and your child. Once this budget is set, you can then have an idea if student loans are going to be part of the equation. If they are going to be part of the equation, you then want to make sure that you calculate what your student loan payment will be. The other thing to keep in mind is not all student loans are created the same. Private loans are going to be a lot different than federal loans. Parent Plus loans are going to be a lot different than private loans. You want to make sure that you have the right strategy in place and the budget in place to then know which type of schools are going to fit to cover you and your child when it comes to making the right decision. The second thing that you want to do is then create your college list. Once you have your list created, you're going to know how many schools it is that ultimately you'll either be applying to, or once you're done figuring out how many schools you'll be touring, which are the schools that are going to be a serious fit. Once you have this information down pat, you can eliminate some of the other schools based on some of those other factors, such as geography, such as academic fit, and such as social fit. If it's not going to work for the child in either one of those 3 other areas, it's probably not even worth looking to see or venture down the path of finding out if the financial fit will be the best one. The third thing that you can do is to make sure that you run a net price calculator and run some projections of what these actual schools will cost from a net cost, not from the sticker price. You may or may not be aware, but all students are going to be eligible for some level of financial aid. That aid can either come in the form of need-based aid or in merit-based aid. But based on the school that you're looking at, you are very likely to get some level of financial aid. So if you're looking at a specific school, you want to make sure that you're at least familiar with what a package could look like. The important ways that you can make sure that you do that are to actually go directly to the school's website and run a net price calculator. Each school is going to have on their website a net price calculator. And in order to find out what your net price can be, they're usually going to ask a series of questions that are going to be both financial and they're going to be asking questions based on the student's merit. If you answer those as accurately as possible, you're going to get a ballpark figure to understand which type of scholarships a student may be eligible for, how much they're going to be willing to offer you in financial need-based aid, and ultimately get you an idea of what a net price could look like. Not all net price calculators are perfect, and I'd venture to say it's not going to be an exact number that you can expect, but it at least will give you a ballpark estimate and can allow you to then say if you should or shouldn't consider that school as you're planning to both apply and to tour schools. One of the worst things that you can do is not vet a school financially and then have the student step onto campus and he or she falls in love with the school. If you find out that you cannot afford that school, it's going to be very difficult to have that conversation with your child to then say, no, it's not going to work out. Eliminate that by doing the work on the front end. The last tip, and it's the one that I think is the most important one, is to make sure that you are going into college and the college buying process with the right mindset. Nearly everyone that I know has bought a car at some point. Whether it's a new car or a used car, people have gone into car shop, and it's not something that a lot of people enjoy. Usually when you're going to buy a car, your guard is already up. You're thinking to yourself, somebody is going to give me some level of a pitch that I don't want to have to listen to. I'm going to be raked over the coals based on some type of thing that I don't need to buy, but I'm going to be sold anyway. And even though that may or may not be the approach that some people have when they go to buy cars, used car salesman does have a very negative connotation to it. But when you go to search for a college, it doesn't have that same connotation. When searching for the right fit college, we must remember that you are making a sizable investment in your child's future. Whether you're the one paying or your child's paying, you want to make sure that it is the right fit for your child, because in the event that it's not, it is going to be an expensive mistake to make. To avoid this, you need to make sure that you're going in with the right mentality and the right mindset. Knowing that the school that you are going to pick is also trying to maximize their bottom line is usually the approach that you need to make sure that you're able to make. You may get an awesome scholarship from this school, you may get grant dollars, and you may be told that you're the right fit for this school. But you need to understand there are many students that are having the same message delivered to them. In order to make sure that it's right for you, do the research up front. Create your budget. Make sure that you are running the net price calculators for each school. Make sure that you are creating your list and eliminating some of those schools that do not belong there. So that way you don't need to have the conversation with your child down the road and let them know, I'm sorry, Junior, we just can't do this. By doing that, you're setting yourself up for success. As always, this message is meant to be educational in nature and is not in any way intended to be specific advice. If you have specific questions, please be sure to consult your financial planner, your tax planner, or the college advisor who's helping you pay and get to school. If you found this information to be insightful, please like this video, share this video, and subscribe to my channel for more content when it comes to paying for college. If you're interested in learning more about how we help people save and pay for college, please feel free to check out our website, www.thecollegedude.com. Until next time.